Think you're too smart to get scammed? Think again. The market is hot and scammers are getting creative. Hi, I'm Shelby Stricklin with Shelby Stricklin Team, RE/MAX Alliance. Whether you plan to rent or buy a home, these tips could save you from losing thousands of dollars. Later in this video, I'll share with you a scam that happened to my seller that affected the new homeowner as well. As rental properties become harder and harder to find, renters desperately search for a place to call home. Imagine you search the internet and you finally find a cute house at a reasonable price. And you get excited. Next, you reach out and ask about the property. They tell you to drive by and let them know what you think. You love it and you see several other people checking it out as well. The anxiety kicks in and you worry that someone else may get it before you do. You call the owner back and they tell you they've had a lot of interest but will hold it for you if you go ahead and put in a deposit. Next thing you know, you sent in money via a cash app and get started making moving plans. Only to find out later it wasn't the owner at all and you just sent a scammer your last $1,000. This happens all too often and we are here to share with you some ideas on how to avoid falling victim. It's important to be wary of anything listed online where posting is available to anyone. You need to make sure you are dealing with a real person who has a real property that has the right to show and rent. In our technology-filled world, this can be more difficult than it sounds. I recommend calling the property management companies directly. Let them know what you are looking for, and they can even see what they have coming up that might work well for you. I spoke with representatives of Pew Group Property Management, and they shared with me the following advice for you. Pew Group agrees that reaching out to the property management companies is the best thing you can do. Ask to see a copy of the business license, making sure the information matches what you have been given. If the person you have been talking to is a little reluctant, or reluctant at all, to meet with you in person, that should be a huge red flag. I've also had several people reach out to me to ask me if I thought something was real. I am more than happy to do that. Definitely get a second set of eyes on something if you have any concerns about it. Now let's talk wiring fraud. I've heard several horror stories about this lately. The most recent was when a first-time buyer received an email that looked like it was from the closing attorney with instructions for him to wire his down payment and closing costs. Unfortunately, the email was from a scammer and it wasn't the attorney's office at all. He sent thousands of dollars to a scammer and ended up not being able to close on his home while it was being sorted out. I spoke with Craig Paulus of Foundation Title and Escrow about this. Craig shared that there's no way to predict every move that a fraudster will make. The best thing you can do to protect yourself from wire fraud is to verify all wiring instructions using a known telephone number. Do not trust the phone number that you received on the email because the email itself could be fraudulent. Also, you should close with offices that have enhanced protections for their customers. All attorneys and title offices have regular errors and omissions insurance, but few have cyber liability bonds, employee dishonesty bonds, and ATLA or SOC2 certifications. These offices, like Craig's, have gone the extra mile to protect their customers. Bottom line here is, don't send money in until you're 100% sure it's going to the right place. What happened to my seller that got me on the news a couple of years ago? We had a listing that was cloned and advertised online as a house for rent. Several people sent in deposit money to the scammer thinking they were putting money down for a deposit. I remember when I went by the house to put up the sold sign, there were several people trying to see the property thinking it was available for rent. It was a huge mess and a great inconvenience to both the seller and later the buyer after she moved in. She said people stopped by the house hoping to rent it for quite some time. And it just happened again on a listing we sold last week. Thankfully, we were able to report the faulty listing quickly and got it down before doing too much damage. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this information valuable. If you have any questions or would like any additional information, please just let us know. We are always happy to help.